Hey everybody, Asher here with a channel update for May/June. We're kind of near the beginning or the end of the month, one way you want to look at it or the other. As you can see, I'm already sitting here talking, losing the attention of the main character of Going Under, which is a great game. We're going to be playing this as is tradition during the channel update while giving the update, and you'll see that I'm going to get really distracted really fast. So welcome to the channel. If you have not sort of been here before, this is your first time here, this is the YouTube intro video now. I just want to let you know this is a channel where just kind of pretty much relax, play stuff, just have some fun with it. I'm not very shouty. I'm more just a laid back kind of person here playing stuff. This update though is called Boomtown because things have been growing quite a bit. So let me talk just briefly about current series that I've been doing while I attempt to get my face smashed here getting Styx coins. Okay, current series that are going on. If you found this channel, it's probably because of Starsector, because Starsector has driven a lot of growth on the channel recently. I was doing a viewer's choice series, which thank you all for selecting that. For a lot of reasons. First off, because Starsector is awesome, but there's also it's driven a lot of growth because it just so happened I lucked into being home from work and kind of just having a little bit of free time before having to take care of some other stuff, and lo and behold, the 95A update dropped. I actually managed to get into like one of the I'm shooting money at people. That seems effective. All right, well, I guess it's Styx coins, so we don't really care about that, but I did manage to, that's a dumb damage by the way. I did manage to get like the first 95A video up there, and YouTube really liked that, which we'll talk a little bit about the YouTube system and how things work in just a minute. We'll get a stapler as well because that's fun. But yeah, Starsector, that's big. That's going to continue to be something that's on the channel as well. The other thing is Remnants of the Precursors currently going on. That is my current stream series. Like, if you're familiar with this channel or you've been here a little while, my last stream series is Dyson Sphere Program. That worked out really well. Better than me getting hit by dynamite, for sure. But yeah, what it pretty much boils down to is that I like the rhythm of having a series that I'm regularly recording and a series I'm regularly streaming. And we'll get into a little bit of what the future plan is here. Because while we do kind of have a minute here, I do just want to talk briefly about growth. Oh my god, that's really crazy here. And I hate that this cuts out the video here because Starsector, I just want to bring up this recently just for the kind of level of analytics that are going on here. This is around the time when the 95A update dropped, and I was actually on the front of any search for Starsector. I think I still am at this point. It's pulled in a lot of new people, which is great, and I've really enjoyed a lot of new comments, new faces around the channel and everything. But I will say as well, I know YouTube's bigger and it's a little bit easier to grow because the audience is wider, but still, right around since Starsector's been released, I've gotten about 1,000 subscribers, which I know for some people's small potatoes. But for this channel, that represents about 25% growth in like a month or two's time, which is insane. So that's really cool. I appreciate you all not just coming in here, but also giving comments, telling other stuff. I will say as well, because I've gotten a few questions about this, that you may have noticed as the server farms are blinking back and forth here again, that some people have had some problems, like they'll click the little bell to say be notified when there's a new run, and they end up not getting notified here. One of the reasons that I've seen this play out in the analytics as well is that I'm getting a bit penalized right now by YouTube for running two series at the same time, which there's if I was really caring very much about just gaming the system and everything, then I would totally just have one thing being run at a time and just try to build my numbers that way. But that's where I truly talked about before that I just don't really care about the YouTube algorithm and everything else. I'm doing this for my own enjoyment, not to try and grow, and hopefully for you all's enjoyment as well. So what that means is that even though, since I've started uploading Remnants of the Precursors, that my viewship on, or channel discovery more specifically, of the Starsector series has dropped almost in half, which is more than to be expected from the decline because the update's been around for a while. It's not going to change the fact that I'm just would rather do something that I'd like, and that's kind of just the mantra for my channel is, am I enjoying this? Am I still enjoying this? Will I keep doing this? Do people like seeing this? Because that is important for me to consider as well. Part of the fun here is making it fun for you guys too, as weird as that may sound. This is a very powerful weapon that I'm probably gonna screw up with in just a second. So we'll try to save it for something really good. Look, we have Joss Patella. Oh, 6-con Evangelist. That's fine. Look, we can get all of our Styx coins right now. Let's see what this card does. That's a lot of damage. Alright. But going from growth, I do want to talk a little bit about upcoming content. And as I'm probably going to die right here because I got too busy getting hit by skeletal people here. Like, this is a roguelike, so things don't always work out. Upcoming content. I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again real quick right here. Is we get our nice lobby music here because I've been sent back to death's door. That's the idea of going under, is that you're an intern and your job in marketing is really just to clean out monsters from the basement. Fun times. It actually has some really good tongue-in-cheek dialogue. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm not looking at doing a roguelike series right now because Starsector, I'm wrapping it up at this point. We're close to the end of the 95A content, and I have a little bit of other things I want to do, but then I really want to dive into a modified series of Starsector. That'll mean next Relian, but I also want to kind of go crazy with some other mods. I'm still undecided on if I want to do custom factions or not, so we'll see kind of where that goes. I may put up a poll for that just to see if people are interested in that kind of thing, because I mean I can kind of play it either way. The other thing is Remnants of the Precursors, kind of the same deal at this point. I want to finish up the run that I'm streaming right now because it's been really cool. I've had like developer and little AI developer people come in as well, which is awesome to see. But at some point, I am going to finish that run. It's a suspicious cube. It's probably going to explode. Well, now we know. Like I said, it's just really cool to have people that are actually working on the game come in and tell me, like, this is what you should maybe do instead, as we're going to mop a goblin here. The other thing is that eventually there are mods for Remnants of the Precursors, and I do want to do those as well. So you can expect future playthroughs for both. But those aren't the only games that I'm like looking forward to in the future here. Probably one of the ones that's coming up soon is Solar Ash, which is an indie game that I really, really, really suggest you check out. It looks cool. If you like kind of the Hyperlight Drifter motif, that's a good action game just to kind of get your feet wet on it. This is a Stress Eater. Hey, that sounds like me in real life. Stress Eater. Let's go. The other thing is Cris Tales, which is a fascinating sort of time alternate reality RPG kind of game. So those are two to look out for. Humankind, I did talk about that before. We actually did do a free play Friday on that. I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on that later. We're not going to pick up the tablet pen for $4. It's actually fairly cheap as far as tablet pens go now. Maybe another game. I'm not sure if it's going to come out by the time the next channel update comes out, but we have Distant Worlds 2, which is another 4X that I am just really looking forward to. Distant Worlds universe is one of my favorite games, really recently, much less ever. It's just a fantastic space 4X with a lot of interworking systems. And my hope is that Distant Worlds 2 builds upon what was done in universe, because the original Distant Worlds definitely had a lot of growing up that it did during the course of development. So that's kind of it for upcoming content. Let's see if we can... we have a new job available, so let's go ahead and do that real quick while I talk about the next thing here, which is you see that I have on section E here a actually destroyed the coffee. That's probably not a good idea. Free play Friday Tower of Power. Now that is another regularly occurring series that YouTube once again does penalize me for. Bougie Cube, let's hit it. Oh, Bougie Cube has a bougie sandwich. That's nice. And the multicaster. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. There we go. That looks like a fun guitar. All right, well, I just used a charge of it. Nice. But yeah, believe it or not, YouTube does not like me putting multiple series out at the same time. I've talked about that before. The other thing is that what ends up happening is that I'll have like a view decline on some videos for Free Play Friday. I don't care though, because I like exploring new games. That's one of the things that I really have appreciated about YouTube over the years, is that I've found other games by being able to watch it on other channels. Cubicle does love me, that's right. So I kind of want to play that forward. So to that end, what I've done here as part of this update is that I have made what's called a Tower of Power. Let me go ahead and pull it up now. It's going to disrupt the music for a second, but we'll talk about it. What I'm going to be doing here for the remainder of the year here is kind of keep a running tally, running list of what games I really like. as we go on through here. And you can hear some game noises in the background. I'm not going to be continuing here. We're just going to have some good lobby music here as we talk about this. Now, as you see from the list here, we have games that I've played so far. Higher up's better. I will add the caveat that I have not included games that I did a Free Play Friday series on and eventually turned into a series. So that excludes Starsector, Dawn of the Mexica, and maybe something else at this point. But it does leave us a list of 12 games. It's ranked on personal enjoyment, and there may be some surprises here for you. I just want to talk about them kind of in ascending order. Starting with Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I mean, I get it. It's a meme game. I was expecting like maybe a little more in terms of gameplay that maybe I shouldn't, but the thing that got me was that it kind of fell flat. I got about 20 minutes into the video I was recording. I was like, this is it? Ugh. And maybe I'm just old. I mean, I'm gray hair now. I'm old internet. But I just didn't think it was that funny. And if you're there partially for the comedy, So that's at the bottom. Humankind, part of that's a little bit from expectations, but it felt like a worse Endless Legend, which sucks because it's supposedly Amplitude Studios' magnum opus. It's still in development though, thank goodness. That was just one of the early looks at it. But the reason that you didn't see me stream it later, although I was really thinking about streaming it later, was because I tried to play some of it off camera and quite frankly, it just wasn't ready. So that's kind of how that is. The Texorcist, that's a game that it's old. It came for free as a part of the Epic giveaway, and it started off really good, and then it got really frustrating. So that's kind of the point there. The next tier up are all kind of games that kind of work in the same vein. We have Colony Ship, Golftopia, and Shadow Empire, which are all games that are really good that I put various amount of times into. And it's games that I definitely feel a desire to dig further into, especially with Shadow Empire. You've got to really dig into it and learn the systems. But it takes some dedications for any of those. And quite frankly, there's kind of other things on like the top of my brain right now. So it's games that I've enjoyed so far, but I haven't really felt the pull to go back into yet. Kind of above them is Trials of Fire, Switch Cars, and Bloody Rally Show, which kind of goes into games that I can pop into and say, you know what, I can run into this a little bit. I can do like a run of it, just enjoy it, and then go back to another thing there. And maybe that's what I value more now that I'm older and have less time to play stuff than I used to, which is weird. But I mean, that's apparently how the rankings shook out. Colony Ship, Golftopia, Shadow Empire, all things that have payoff kind of over time. Me now, apparently short attention span, let me drive a car into some people, let me drive a car away from some aliens, or, okay, Trials of Fire is a strategy board type game that a full run can take anywhere between an hour to 3 hours, so maybe it doesn't entirely hold up. But then we have the top of the list here. These are the games that I enjoy the most, ones that I could potentially make into a series later, especially War Sim. War Sim is one that I absolutely do want to do. I may do that as a stream at some point as well. It just really depends. War Sim is just so much fun, and the development is just constant. There's really no wrong time to jump into it. It's just a matter of what time works for me. Jupiter Hell, kind of the same thing. It is a game much like Remnants of the Precursors. It has a publisher now, unlike Remnants of the Precursors. It also costs money. But Jupiter Hell's due to be finalized and finished and come out this year. It's a game that I will probably do a series to closer to there. It's a game that I really enjoy and I really suck at. So I look forward to getting to know that even better. If you're not familiar with Jupiter Hell, you may be familiar with Doom RL or Doom Roguelike, which is kind of the same, which is literally the same idea. Jupiter Hell is just an extension of it. And Mind Scanners, which you may have realized is, hey, wait a minute, you just did a Free Play Friday on that. This is recency bias. Maybe it is, but when a game touts itself as a, hey, here is another game that's like Papers, Please. So I go in with the expectations of, oh Lord, I'm comparing this to one of the games that I've really liked, really ever. And it actually meets those expectations. And I'm like, wow, I want to play this again. Yeah, no, that's good. So this is kind of the rankings for now. And I really think it's going to be interesting. And I'm going to have to make smaller icons in the future here, because by the next channel update, we're just going to add to this list, and maybe some things will move up, maybe some things will move down, maybe there'll be another open dev for Humankind and things will be a little bit more polished and less kind of obtuse. There's updates for some of these games, not all of it. Some of these are in early access, some of these are fully baked. And one of the great things about following games like this, especially indie games, oftentimes, and most all of these are independently developed games. In fact, I think, yeah, all of these have pretty much been developed independently at this point. it's always nice to get a surprise and be like, hey, here's a game that I didn't follow at all, and then it just kind of beats me upside the head and say, hey, this is what you've been looking for the whole time. Literally, that was my reaction to Trials of Fire. It's like, where was this game? I missed it. It had a whole early access and I missed it. But that's going to do it for this update here. Like I said, I try to keep them short, and we've done a good deal of talking. So like I said, enjoy your lobby music here. Going Under, also a good game. Like I said, it's a game where we're just sitting here now in the basement. As far as I remember, it's still on sale, but we're just gonna, I don't really feel compelled to finish this run, and honestly, for the recording, I don't exactly have the time, but we'll play a little bit more just while I shoot the shit and finish it up here. Also, yes, language warning for this channel, sorry. But YouTube, at this point, like I said, it's a game, it's kind of a game within a game to a point. One of the reasons I went into YouTube to begin with was not to become e-famous or anything like that. It's literally just because it is a place where I can play games and share enjoyment with other people, because pretty much the people that I know in real life, some of them play games. I won't say that nobody does, but they don't play the kind of stuff I play. And some of that just comes down to, you look around at what's popular nowadays. It's not a bad thing to be like, okay, I like Madden, I like Call of Duty, anything like that. Like what you like. I just don't have people to talk about like, hey, I play some old remake of some independently developed DOS game from a while ago, or anything, even like this, just something like this that came out last year or this year. Like, why are you playing something weird? It looks cartoony, you have weird goblins, it makes fun of jobs. Don't you love your job? Yeah, that's a job witch that we ate out of a basement, in a basement full of goblins. Let's not think about that for a second. But kind of the mantra here, just as I progress with this channel and everything else, is that I just as long as I'm having fun, I'm gonna keep doing this. So hopefully you all are enjoying this a little bit too. And you know what? I just am always open to suggestions in the comments. It makes me happy to be able to meet so many new people just as this is going on here. But yeah, I'm probably about to get the crap beat out of me because I have a very large cactus and a bunch of people all around me. I promise I have beaten some of this stuff before. I didn't mean to take this fight and just suddenly lose. I need to like guitar the crap out of people here. But that's kind of the idea here, is that I'm free to fail, obviously. That used to literally be the name of the channel, almost Way to Fail Self. But at this point, the growth is great, but the engagement with other people is what keeps me coming back to doing this. So I'm going to keep doing what I do, and I appreciate you all coming in, continue to give support. Obviously, there's YouTube algorithm things like getting on your phone and checking things here, is obviously that's what she's going to do again. But like I said, it's just good fun for me and a good outlet for otherwise very stressful stuff that goes on with work in general, but that's the nature of the beast. So thank you all for watching. I think this is a good a time as any just to cut this and say thank you all for being here. Starsector, I'm going to finish that out and then continue going with it. Remnants of the Precursors, I'm going to finish that out, and both of those are going to be modded runs after that. There's some other games that are on the horizon right now, but there's a lot of fun to be had, and I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you all for watching. Have a good one.